everyone. Hello, my beautiful friends, and happy Monday. Okay, still doing this quarantine thing. You're amazing. I don't know about you guys, but my baby is 6 weeks old today, and I told myself that I was going to be basically quarantined until 6 weeks anyways, with the newborn, wanting to keep her healthy. And now that she's 6 weeks old, I'm like, okay, we can be done now. Like, really though, like I'm over this. So I'm sure y'all are like getting stir crazy a little bit too. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of diversity and some food for the soul to help you feel a little bit more uplifted, a little more inspired today. Because I know that I feel inspired as I think about this call and as I prepare the content and whatever. So hopefully it does the same thing for you. So my team name is Powerful Beyond Measure. And it is so named because of a quote. And you may, good morning, handsome. My son just woke up. Come here, dude. You may or may not have heard the quote by Marianne Williamson. It is very oft quoted. And I remember he's got bedhead and everything. You're handsome. I love you. I first heard this quote when I was a freshman in high school. And my mom shared it with me, and I ever since that day, my heart and my spirit and my soul just sang, because it spoke to me. And I remember being in first grade, and there was a song that we sang as a school. And if you're from Utah, I don't know if it's a US thing or if anybody knows it, but there was this program called Hope of America. And the fifth graders involved the whole school in one song. And we had the parents come, and we just sat in the little gym of elementary school, and we sang this song, right? And it's called We Can Be a Light. And all the lights were off in the cafeteria, and the fifth graders all got to shine their flashlights. And it was so cool. And I remember being this little 6-year-old girl and just crying and crying and crying as we sang in the cafeteria of my elementary school with the lights flashing everywhere. We can be a light shining everywhere, all across America, showing people that we care. So let your light so shine, helping others find their way. We can turn the darkest night into the brightest day. That's the chorus.
Me don't know that song.
That's okay. I should teach it to you because it's one of my favorites. So anyways, but I just remember being this 6-year-old girl crying, and my teacher came up to me and was like, Bryn, what is wrong? And I was like, nothing, I just love this song. And she went and got my mom and everything, and my mom was like, oh, she's related to me. Music just gets her like it does me, and songs and all the things, they just touch my heart, touch my soul, touch my spirit. And that was the first time I ever experienced that as a 6-year-old little girl in first grade singing in a elementary school gym cafeteria, right? So if you're a part of our Facebook group, it's called Powerful Beyond Measure Fight Club. And my team of coaches, we are called Powerful Beyond Measure because of this quote. And with all that laid up, I will read it to you now because it never ceases to get me. And this is again by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And I'm sure those of you who are Christian like me know and are familiar with the scripture that where Christ invites us to let our light shine, right? And to set it on a hill and not hide it under a bushel, right? And so light and powerful beyond measure, my like logo that I'm trying to create and whatever, make shirts and all the cute things for my team and my people who are my Fit Life community, right? Light just really speaks to me. And like I was sharing with that song and being a light, and it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And when we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And we are all meant to shine as children do. So I just love light and shining and all those things. So yesterday and this weekend, I was able to listen to a spiritual conference, and there was a talk about light. And it just like made my heart sing. It resonated, all the things. So I got to share a story, and I really, really wanted, sometimes it's, the content is up really quickly. After the spiritual conference, they share all the messages that were presented in an app or on the website. And I was really hoping that it would be available already today so that I could read it to you and not have to paraphrase, but it's not yet available. I'm sure because of all this coronavirus stuff, they're understaffed and don't have as many people to help. But I will paraphrase to the very best of my abilities so that the story is still as impactful and powerful for you as it was for me. So the message was shared by a woman named Bonnie Corden, and she shared a story of an elderly gentleman that visited her and her family's home, who is very important in our church. He was like a leader. And so she, as a little girl, was just like, oh my gosh, like starstruck. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he's here visiting my family. And she had a very important job to do of feeding the chickens, and she did not want to. And because she wanted to just spend all of the time that she could with this man. His name was Brother Perry. And as soon as the mom asked, like, okay, did you feed the chickens? She was like, nope, and I'm not going to, and they can just fast, and I'll feed them tomorrow. But as soon as Brother Perry heard that, he said, oh my goodness, did I hear that somebody needs to go feed the chickens? And she was like, yeah, I do. And he was like, well, can I come with you? And all of a sudden her job of needing to feed the chickens became like super cool. And she was like so excited to go feed the chickens and show them how it's all done and whatever. So it's dark outside. So she grabs her flashlight and she takes off, and she's just this cute little girl showing this elderly man where to go to the chicken coop. And they had to go over and under and through and all the things to make it to the chicken coop. And she had been there many times, and she knew the way, and she was a little girl, and she could get there very quickly. And he couldn't. He'd never been there before. He was an elderly man. He didn't know where he was going, and she was the one that was holding the flashlight. So he stepped in an irrigation ditch on accident because she was leading the way, but going too quickly, wasn't shining the light where it needed to be shown. He didn't know the way. He stepped in an irrigation ditch. They fed the chickens, all the things. But on the way back, when they were about to go back, he lovingly pulled her aside and said, Bonnie, you need to, and again, I'm paraphrasing, I don't know the exact words, but Bonnie, I need you to shine the light where I need the light shown. You know the way back, and I don't. And I need you to help me by shining the light by my feet so that I can make it back safely. And she went on to share essentially that it's not, we all hear that to shine our light, right? And to put it on a hilltop and don't hide it under a bushel. Essentially, be who you are and be someone who is positive and uplifting and kind and points others to goodness. If you're Christian like me, that means you're trying to point others to Christ. If you're not, you're just trying to point others to goodness and happiness and hopefully be a source of joy in other people's lives, and not like trying to be that like Debbie Downer all the time, right? And of course, that is not to say you're not allowed to have a bad day, because guess what? I have bad days all the time. but I'm striving to be someone who is positive and uplifting, right? And we all hear that and we're all striving to be positive and uplifting, but sometimes I wonder if we're like Bonnie and we're so super excited to share our light and to do the things that we're not actually helping. We're not actually shining the light where someone else needs it. We're not shining the light on their feet, on their path. We're not helping them get from point A to point B by shining the light the way that they need it to be shown. And I don't know what that means for you. For me, I had all these impressions come to my head because of who I am and the roles that I have and the children that I have and the husband that I have and the roles that I have in work and in life and in coaching and in as a mom, as a sister, as a friend. I had all these personal impressions come to me where how I can shine my light more effectively, not just turn it on and dance around and not really help anybody. But yes, my light is shining. But where I can truly point it at their feet and help them go from point A to point B, so that they can make it back safely. Right. Like speaking of her story, back to the house without stepping in irrigation ditches or other things like that. Yes. So I just invite you to, one, find your light. If you haven't found it yet, to find it and to search for the value that you have. And it's already in there. It's already given to you. And it's innate. It's not something that you have to be given or granted or whatever, but you do need to search internally to recognize it. Those are markers, cutie. If you draw on paper in your morning stuff. Okay, sorry. Searching internally for that validation that is in there. And I promise, if you look for it, if you search for your internal value, if you search for your internal worth, and especially if you're a Christian like me, pray to feel the love that God has for you, you will feel it. You will find it. Hold on, please. Sweetheart, there's a ton of papers in there. In there. Pull out the white box that has all your coloring books in it, and there's a whole bunch of papers in there. Okay. Sorry. And if you're not Christian, then just meditate about it or ponder on it or think about it and truly think of all the things that you bring to the world that other people don't, or ask your friends and family. And maybe that might seem like you're fishing for compliments. Who cares? Ask those people, what is it that I bring to the world that other people don't? What do you appreciate and value about me? And see what they say. I heard an affirmation, and it's just like a one-word statement, but I'm sorry, this is a little spiritual, but hashtag sorry, not sorry, because I'm just a spiritual person. But I've been listening to this book called Captivating, and it's by Christian authors all about the worth of a woman. And they talk about the creation and how God created the world, and everything that he created just got better and better and better. And first he organized matter, and then he put plants on the earth, and then he put animals, and then he put man, and his last creation was woman. And if you are a man watching this, listening to this, you are a beautiful and important part of this world too. That is not what I'm saying at all, but the authors go on to say that woman was the last thing that man created, because women, we are his crowning creation. And the whole book is about the worth of a woman. And I really suggest it. If you're a woman and if you're Christian, I would suggest it like stat. it is so good, and it is speaking to me in all the ways. It's called Captivating. And if you're one of my coaches, you can access it for free because it's in our Audible library. It's by John and Stacy Eldridge. This is what it looks like. So good. But there was like one line in there, and it after talking about the creation and about women being like the last thing that God created, and they just said the whole vast universe is incomplete without you. Because I'm a woman, and so are you. And so that's the first affirmation I've started reading every day, because I don't know about you, but as a woman, so many times I'm like, I'm not enough. I'll never be enough, no matter how hard I try to become better, to become the best version of me, no matter how blah, 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 whatever I achieve, I accomplish a thing, no matter how many times I do the laundry or fold it or get this done before this time or get them in bed before, it's never good enough. It's never enough, right? And then when I read that and heard that, and I say that, the whole vast universe is incomplete without me. And it just like, it gives me chills every time, because I can feel the truth in it. And I can feel the importance that I have as a human being to share my light with others, because there is no one like me, and there is no one like you. And the whole vast universe is incomplete without you. You have a crucial role to play in this life and to play on earth today, right now. Yes. And again, we will all make mistakes, and that's okay. Yeah. But you have a light to share, and you have a light to shine, and do so intentionally. And remember that you, my friend, are powerful beyond measure. And don't let your light scare you. Yeah. Let it shine. And I love you. If you're on live, stay on live. If you're not, I will see you later. I know that really had nothing to do with nutrition, but sometimes I just feel like we need like a mindset boot camp. And if you really believe in the nutrition or in your light and sharing your light with the world, you will fuel yourself effectively, because eating well is a form of self-respect. And when you are searching for your light and striving to share it with others, you will fuel yourself effectively and efficiently so that you can feel good enough to shine. Because when you're hiding that light is when you hide behind comfort food and hide behind baggy clothes and hide behind the excuses and the complacency and the television shows and all those things. But if you're striving to share your light and to become the person that God sent you here to be, or that you were put on this earth to be, or whatever you believe, yes, if you're striving to become that person and striving to become the best version of yourself, your nutrition will be in check. I know that 100%. And I believe that it totally has everything to do with nutrition, even though it doesn't. So hopefully that helps you today. And yes, give me 1 second, please. I love you. I adore you. I believe in you. I love your light. I hope you can share it with others and find more of it. And if you're on live, stay on. Yeah? Okay. Good luck through all this quarantine stuff. I believe in you.